Hey, what's up guys? Alex here with a new video, and today we will be doing my first impressions on the Leica 35mm f1.4 Summilux Steel Rim. If you're new to the channel, I am a portrait photographer based out of Miami, Florida, and I'm primarily a Leica and Sony shooter. For today's video, it's only a first impression since I only got the lens 2 weeks ago and it's not long enough to do a review. Before I even talk about this lens, I gotta talk about where I stand with lenses, because this lens has changed the game for me in so many ways. So where do I begin? I'm very lucky to have access to a lot of gear. I'm currently shooting with a Sony a7R5 and a 35 1.4 G Master, which is an incredible setup. I also have a Leica M11 and a 35 Summilux close focus, which is Leica's latest 35mm lens. Today, most new lenses are striving for optical perfection, and most manufacturers are getting there or getting very close. That makes things kind of interesting. And I say interesting because as much as I love Leica, I can also admit that Sony's 35 1.4 G Master looks pretty darn close to the 35 Summilux 1.4 close focus, which I have right over here. The difference being that the Leica 35 Summilux is about 1/3 the size, but the Leica Summilux doesn't have autofocus. So there's trade-offs. You can also look at some of Leica's newer lenses, like their Apple lenses, which are even more optically corrected and you could say perfect. And again, everybody's striving for that, which means if you look at the lenses for the last 5 years, everybody is getting close to this level of perfection. Now, to me, that's gotten a bit boring. And it's hard to tell a difference between some of these manufacturers. Even third-party manufacturers now are getting optically super close, which has just leveled out the playing field. And I have gotten a bit bored with the images. They lack character. So here comes the 35 Steel Rim. Now, this lens, I was on the list for since it was announced, which is about a year. And for a while there, I almost pulled myself out of the list because of some of the reviews. This lens might have too much character. It glows a lot wide open. Some might even say it's not usable wide open. So a lot of doubt kind of crept in, but when I got the call, I decided to pick it up anyway. So huge shout out to Leica Store Miami. Y'all made a dream come true. And from the moment I put this lens on the M11, I was in love. It was love at first sight, because this lens is, I want to say, 2 lenses in one. What I mean by that is if you shoot it wide open at 1.4, and I'll be putting up some images here that you could also download and check out yourself. At 1.4, this lens is nothing but character. It has strong vignetting, it has a glow to it. It's still sharp and it's still very usable, but it just has this look, and it's beautiful. I absolutely love it wide open. There's nothing out there that looks like this. You could even put a Pro Mist filter or a Cinebloom filter on any new modern lens, which will give it a haze, but it will not replicate the glow of this lens. It is just such a unique and stunning look. But when you stop this lens down to f4, f5.6, it is as sharp as a modern lens and still has this crazy size. So you're getting a lens where if you choose to shoot wide open, just has nothing but character, a unique look that you can also stop down if you need that extra sharpness for whatever project you're working on. That really makes this lens 2 lenses in one. And for someone like myself who had, like I said, gotten a bit bored with all the newest lenses, all being perfect, all looking almost the same, this lens has made photography so much fun for me these past 2 weeks. Every day I leave the house, I'm taking this lens with me. Whether I'm taking my Leica MP or my M11, it is now my lens of choice every time I leave the house. I want to photograph everything with this lens. And it's brought the joy of photography back, even though I didn't think I had lost it. It's just a new sense of exploration that I want to do. I want to take pictures everywhere. I want to go wake up early and photograph random things. Like, it's just opened up a whole new perspective. And when a lens does that, when a lens inspires you to go out there and shoot the mundane things in life, that's when you know the lens is special. With that said, I also know this lens is not for everybody. Wide open, the glow, the character, some people might not like it. And there is a time and place where you want to have a wide open 1.4 perfect look for whatever project you're working on. So this lens cannot be used for everything. But adding it to your kit and having the option to pull out a character lens like this and deliver a look that just cannot be matched with anything out there today. Not only will it differentiate your work, I think creatively will inspire you to shoot differently and explore things you might not have explored with just an optically perfect lens. So it's been 2 weeks, definitely the honeymoon period, but I haven't felt this way about a lens in a very, very long time. And I wanted to make this video because, like I said, it is love at first sight. After using this lens, I can't get my mind and I can't stop thinking about potentially acquiring a 50mm Nock Deluxe 1.2 reissue. I say that because the 50mm focal length is my favorite focal length. So to think that maybe potentially I can get a similar rendering with a 50mm lens is very, very enticing. But that's a whole nother video on its own. Hopefully you enjoyed this story time and quick first impressions on the 35mm Summilux Steel Rim. As always, guys, I hope you download the images I provided for you to check out yourself so you can see what I'm talking about. And please like this video, please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good one, guys. Peace.